Now get 2 bowls. In one bowl, put in 1 teaspoon of borax and 1 cup of water. Just stir this. We just want this to dissolve. Now in the other bowl, put in half a cup of non-toxic glue. If you are able to find clear glue that's non-toxic, use that, because the slime will be translucent. With this, the slime won't be. Then add half a cup of water to it and some food colouring. Now that depends on what colour you want. If you want to make multiple, like I just like to put in 3 or 4 drops of green, but you can use any colour. Now just give this a stir. Now get a larger bowl, mixing bowl, pour that in, and then pour that in. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, we've got slime. We've got slime, yeah. Oh yeah, slime. Now for this, just make a cake. I've made chocolate. I haven't gone through the process of showing you how to make a chocolate cake because there's plenty of videos on my channel showing how to make cakes, so you can use that, or if you want to make it easy, just grab a packet. And you want to put some chocolate frosting on. So if the cake doesn't come out flat, just cut it. We want it to be flat. And once you've iced the whole cake, get something like this. These are usually called chocolate biscuit fingers or something. And we want to put that on the side like that. And just put them all the way around. Alright, now that part's done. So what I like to do now is put this in the fridge for about 20 minutes just to let this harden a little bit, just so these stick to it better. Now for this part, get jelly crystals, get a lime green colour. Just follow the instructions on the pack and wait until it's set. And you probably want to use at least 2 packets. Now the jelly or jello is ready. It doesn't need to be completely set, but if pretty close to it. Now what we want to do is just mush it up with a fork, because we're going to put this into the middle of the cake, and we want this to have the effect of it being bubbling, like the witch's brew needs to look like it's a bubbling bubbler. Now get that jello that you mushed up with a fork and just start to spoon it in. Now just decorate with some like snakes or killer pythons, frogs, whatever you would like to do. And there you have it, ready to dig in. Now just get a small bowl or a ramekin or something, put in 2 or 3 tablespoons or so of icing sugar, confectionery sugar, pure icing sugar. They've all got different names for pretty much the same thing. Then add 1 teaspoon of water and just mix this in. Then add 1 to 2 more tablespoons of icing sugar, and you just keep adding it until you get the consistency that you want. You want it to be thick. There we go. It's a little bit like Perkins paste. I used to love eating Perkins paste. So it should be pretty thick like that. Now get some wafer fingers. You want to get the light coloured ones. Now get that paste. Just spread that around the middle. You want to sort of have it like the shape of what you'd see in a Band-Aid. A circle or a square. Now just get some strawberry jam. Put a dollop in the middle. Entirely up to you if you want a big amount or just a small little piece like that. And there you go. Simple. Get a banana, cut it in half. It's about that size. And then we want to cut it down the middle. Now you want to get some sort of skewer and just stick it around the middle. Stick that in. So it's like that. Then you want to put these in the freezer for at least 3 hours. So however many of these you want to make, maybe 6, 8, 3, whatever, chuck them in the freezer. Now those are done. They're frozen. Now get a tall container, one that's going to be at least the height of the bananas. Put orange juice in. Then we want to dip the banana in the orange juice. And get some desiccated coconut and just dip that in it. Now just get a couple of mini chocolate chips. It's for the eyes. And a raisin or sultana for the mouth. And there you have it. In a saucepan, turn the heat on to low and put in some thickened cream, or just some cream, about 1/3 to 1/2 cup, and add to that about 150 to 200 grams of chocolate. Dark chocolate is fine, milk chocolate is fine. Just throw all that in and just keep stirring it until it's fudgified. Alright. It's melted and beautiful. Now just take this off the heat, turn the heat off and take this away from the heat and let it cool for about 5 minutes. Now get a litter box, make sure it's a new one. I can't stress this enough. Brand new, never used. Now then what I like to use for the base, for the cat litter, is rice bubbles. I believe in the US these are called rice Krispies or something. So there's no set amount, depends on how big your little box is. So just pour that in and spread it around. Now this chocolate fudge is ready. Now what you're going to need is something like this. So it needs to be poured into this and then I'll squeeze it out so it looks like poop. Yum. So see, what I did was I made 2 different types. So I made some fudge with milk chocolate and some with dark, so the dark chocolate ones would look like they're a little bit runny. Get a mixing bowl, use a hand mixer or stand mixer and put in 150 grams of softened butter, or throw it in. add 3/4 of a cup of caster sugar or granulated sugar, white sugar, extra fine sugar. Then add 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar. Then add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I want to mix this together on low, then increase to high so it becomes light and fluffy. Then add 1 egg. Just mix that in. Now get 1 3/4 cups of plain flour. Just add it slowly. Now this is optional, but I like to add food colouring to give it the look of like a ghoulish, zombie-ish eyeball. I'm choosing green, you can choose any colour. How much you put in depends on how vibrant you want it. Just put in half a dozen drops or so and mix it and see if that's a good colour for you. If not, add more. Now turn your oven on to about 200 degrees Celsius, which is 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Get a baking tray and grease it, or if you have one of these, this is a silicone, that's all you need. And get the mixture, roll it into balls or whatever. We're going to flatten it anyway. Now just flatten them down. So now just pop them in the oven and they'll be done after about 15 to 20 minutes. Check after 15, but should take about 20. Alrighty, now there's one. This one has a bite out of it because Ayla grabbed it. So now what we want is, I've just got this little writing icing and it's red, so we're going to use that as the bloodshot part. So just have it however you want. Then melt some chocolate. Put that in the middle. Get some little edible fake eyes. Well, I hope you like these. Now for this, bake a cake. Any shape you want. I've just decided to bake one that's a rectangle. Now I'm not showing you how to bake the cake because it's just a basic chocolate cake. You can buy a packet to make it, or just look up some of my other recipes of baking cakes from scratch and use that, or use one of your own recipes. Now for this we want to put icing sugar all over the top and sides, or frosting, or anything that you want to use that you want to either buy or make from scratch. I prefer to make things from scratch because it's more fun, but if you wanted to save a lot of time, don't. Alrighty then, now that's done. Now just make sure when you do it, you have it on something that's bigger than the cake, and then get some of the frosting and just smear it around the edges as well, because for this you can sprinkle a little bit of crushed up Oreo or cake if there's any left over or whatever, just to make it seem like dirt or whatever. Just add to the whole ambiance. Now get a bunch of little things like this. You can use whatever. You can use chocolate fingers, Twix. These are called TV snacks. Look like thus. Just pop them around the sides. Now you don't want this to be, you know, even and worry about it. You can have some with small gaps, large gaps, some that are higher than others. The idea is for it to be a little bit wonky and uneven, like an abandoned graveyard. You can even put a few of these on if you want. These are the chocolate wafers. That way you get a few different heights and different sizes, and it just, for me, adds that feel of somewhere that you don't want to go, but you want to dive face first into. I get about half a dozen Oreos, crush them up. You can use some of it for sprinkling around here, and find some spots where you're going to put some gravestones. So that's the idea, we decorate like a graveyard, and just put a pile. You can have one pile, two, whatever you want. This is supposed to be dirt, and put a little skull in it if you wish, and just put a gravestone there. Different types of gravestones. Some can have dirt, some don't have dirt. Just do whatever you want, just be creative, have a bit of fun. Chuck a pumpkin in, just for the fun of it. People will be well impressed. Now for this, get 1 cup of cold water. Get 2 tablespoons of corn syrup, also called glucose syrup. Now you can either add chocolate or strawberry syrup or topping. It really depends on how much colour you want, how red you want it. So I'm going to add some strawberry, just about 1 to 2 tablespoons. And if you want it to be extra vibrant, extra red, just add about 25 drops of red food colouring. Give it a good stir. Now if you want to add a little bit of chocolate to it, that'll just change the colour slightly. You just do it until you get the colour that you want. Now just get a Ziploc bag and pour it straight in there. There you go. Yummy, drinkable blood. Look at the blood. Get a measuring cup or a jug or something. Something that's going to hold at least 4 cups. Now get some jelly or jello. I'm using lime. You can use any colour really. Put in 2 packs. 1 pack is 85 grams. And add 3 packets, which is 10 grams a packet, so 30 grams of unflavoured gelatin. The pack I use looks like that. Of water and pour that in. Just give that a bit of a stir so it mixes through. Now just let this cool for about 20 minutes before we put it in the mould. Alright, now get your brain mould. If you don't have one, buy one. Mine's pretty cheap. this in, and you just leave it until it's set. Now you could also put it in the fridge to speed up its setting. Oh, now that is a wobbly brain. Now here comes the fun part. At this point we just want to put a few holes in it. You can use a knife, use your finger, doesn't really matter. And you get little snakes. Stick them in like that. Have them coming out. Oh yeah. Yeah. There you go. Easy, looks cool, great for your Halloween party, or just to dive face first into. Get 1 packet of jelly crystals and just pour it straight into a jug like this. Boil some water, and you want 1 cup of boiling water. Pour it straight in and just give this a stir until this has dissolved. Now just add 1 cup of cold water. Give this a bit of a stir. Now you can use yellow, orange, basically whatever colours you want. I've chosen to use a yellowy orange one. Now just put this in the fridge for about 30 minutes. Right, this has been in the fridge for 30 minutes, so just pour it in to anywhere from 1/3 to about halfway. Now either refrigerate this for about 90 minutes so it's almost set but not completely, or just put it in the freezer for about 20-25 minutes. Now get raspberry or strawberry crystals, jelly, put it in there and then add 1 cup of boiling water. And once again add 1 cup of boiling water and give it a stir so it starts to dissolve, and then put this in the fridge for about half an hour. As you can see, it's starting to thicken, firm a little bit, not quite ready. Get some little red frogs, have it so a few of them are just sort of sinking in a little bit, like that. Then put this back in the freezer so it's it's firm. Now just place a couple on top while it's firm enough but not completely set, and then put it back in the fridge so it sets. Right, this isn't quite set yet, which is good. Pour this in. Now some of this is just going to go and mix in with the yellow or orange. That's fine. Oh yeah, looking good. Now just put this in the fridge for an hour or 2 and we'll get to the next part. Now it's not quite set, getting closer. Now get like a big snake and just put it in there like that. Yeah. And a big frog, or a frog, not a flog, and maybe a little baby frog on top. And then put that in the fridge and let it completely set. There you have it. It's nice and firm. You've got your little, well, not really little, snake, frog with baby frog, and then you'll have some sort of halfway up.